I came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yeah.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you.
Coach, playoff fever has come to upstate New York, and there's a look at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They will run for the first time here with White. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Jackson. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. To throw is Jackson. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
First down, here's White. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
At the 45-yard line. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Check 3, check 3.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That'll be complete to Breida. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun, escaping the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
On first down, here's Breida. And he's got some space here. 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida, 48 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go right back to White here on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. from the gun, Jackson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Michael Kendricks. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly third and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
On fourth down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it first and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And now look at him go. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 17-0 our score after 1. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Take him down. The Bills get to him. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
They go play action with Jackson. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third down, Foreman. But he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. 61. Let's box. Let's run it.
They'll throw on first down with Griffith. He'll buy some time right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
You go tight. You go tight.
Play action. Now Jackson going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. He's got a man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big third down play there for the Jags. 56 yards. They'll run on first down. It's White, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I think it's okay that they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Come on, baby. Check 50. Check 50.
On third down, Jackson flushed out right. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Second and 12 at the 10-yard line.
Hey, pick it up.
Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. And got his man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for first and 10. On first down, Foreman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A second down run for Zinner. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. To throw is RG3. Open man, it's Allen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check, check. Lucky.
Out of the gun, Griffin. Towards the end zone for Brown. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown. As the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to pour it on. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm coming!
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I'll bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a 6-yard run, leaves them with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set, ready, go to base. Hook, 6 foot,
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Griffin. To Gabriel, middle of the field. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run on first down. Foreman, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
ready. 15 loaded, 15 loaded. Right 50, yeah. Now watch one. Let it go.
From the gun, it's Griffin. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That's complete right side to Gabriel. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. From the 16, Griffin. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go. Shoot, ready.
Jackson now. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 36-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
They run again with Breida. He won't go down. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Oh, yeah. And here we go.
Jackson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Jackson. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Don't say nothing.
Here's Breida. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
11 yards there, first down.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The throw left side complete to Hogan. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Griffin. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the draw in center. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50.
On 2nd down and 4. Griffin flush, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. RG3. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. We're pretty darn good.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
First down, Jaguars.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's White. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Everyone got four down. Hey, number 8.
On 3rd down, a run from White. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is Breida. And an alley to run. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards that time and a Buffalo first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's got to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go counter with Breida. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. On second down, a run with Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So 1st and 2nd down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, and they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, you know, building this program up.